Well, one of the funny things about Judaism is that it's sperm worship. Okay, Jewish people are actually sperm worshippers, and this may sound a little bit obscene, but it's not. It's just an extension of penis worship, which probably goes back a lot longer ago than Jews do. The Jews are a new invention. They invented them around the time of Babylon, and they probably were mostly the owners of Babylon. I always thought they were the slaves of Babylon, but I think they were probably not. They were more than likely very influential in Babylon, just like they are very influential now in the banking system. And we're going to talk about the banking system. And remember, when we talk about Jews, of course, that 98% of most Jews don't have any fucking idea what's going on, just like you and I don't. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Federal Reserve Bank killing John F. Kennedy. Now, this might not be true. Maybe it was the central bank that killed John F. Kennedy. Perhaps it was the military-industrial complex that killed JF Kennedy. But one thing is for sure, it was this group of insane, mad, killer, sperm-worshipping, moronic, myopic, criminal syndicate of the money sharks. And the money sharks started out about a few hundred years ago, apparently with the Bank of England. And that it's always been run by Jewish Zionists. I don't think that's a reason to start another war against Jews, because, well, too many of us are Jews, and too many of us who are Jews don't know what's going on. And not knowing what's going on doesn't make you innocent, of course. There is no such thing as innocence. And you're not born with sin, you're born with debt. And being born with debt, of course, is bullshit. It's a big fucking lie. And one of the things you've got to realize is that this monetary dictatorship that we have everywhere, but certainly in Europe is a monetary dictatorship, and North America as well. I'm not sure what Canada bases their money on, but it might actually be a little less insane than the American money. But let's not talk about that. I think it's also based on the central bank, so it makes it just as insane. So forget that comment. But we won't cut it out because we haven't got time for editing. We got to get on to whatever's the next thing. And first of all, we're going to take a little break to have a didgeridoo song from who knows what, and I'm not going to include it. See ya. Okay, soon. Huh? It is the end of the world as we know it, which is a good thing. The criminal organization that call themselves the bank, okay, these mad myopic pirates of murder, lust, and greed, they will try, when the monetary system crashes, which appears to be about now, because it's very simple. It's a very simple process. The monetary system is based on debt, and it's been like this for a couple 300 years. And what happens is money is printed quite often by the mint, and the mint will be government owned because the banks, of course, don't want to piss around with that kind of nonsense. The banks don't want to do fuck all. The banks do zero. Okay, that's the whole funny thing about money. Funny money is that it's not real. It's concept. It's a really stupid concept that makes a few people very, very, can you say wealthy? No, it makes them have this bubble of money insanity. Money is not real. And it could be real. It could be real. It could be based on an assumption that a certain amount of people in a certain number, in a certain country, who have a certain amount of man hours, let's say 30 hours a week for 50% of the people or something like that. You can base your monetary system on something like that, but you can't have interest rates, which is a problem, because the interest rates, what happens is, when you've got somebody borrowing money, what they do is they print it, or they just write it in the computer, and this money is then a debt, and if for some reason they can, when this money is a debt, then it's supposed to be real money, and they can lend it out again, and money just generates itself from nowhere, out of the blue. Practically out of the blue. And the problem is, it can only sustain itself exponentially because the interest rate is on everything, including the interest of the year before there. So eventually, you've got a curve like we do now, that's, instead of looking like it's sort of going like this, it is now, and this is no lie, this is the way it is, everything about the monetary system is skyrocketing fucking skyrocketing straight up, okay? Which means it cannot work anymore. It's going to explode, and it will explode. And Kennedy saw this, and a lot of people saw this. Anybody who's looked at the monetary system will see this, and you should look at the monetary system. It's more important than learning about God, Jesus Christ, Buddha, and Allah. Did we miss anybody? No, it doesn't matter. They're all bullshit. Anyway, we're not talking religion. We're talking about murdering Kennedy, taking down the CN... I always call them CN towers. They're the trade towers that were old and rusty and full of asbestos and had to come down anyway. Taking them down to scare the shit out of people, to make them think that they still got to work fucking 60 hours a week to pay taxes, so that the taxes can go to pay interest on money that does not exist. So come on, people, we've got to fucking wake up. We've got to close the Central Reserve Bank. Or, no, I'm mixing up the Federal Reserve Bank. The Central Reserve Bank, the World Bank, they are all organized crime syndicates. Okay, get that through your head. They are the leading crime syndicates on the planet. The banks. Okay? And as soon as we realize this, of course, we can just close them, put them all in jail. That's where they belong, in jail. Yeah? Okay? And you can make big rooms for them in jail, because half the people that are in jail, especially most places, don't really need to be there. Let them out. Let them go do something. Because most of them are there because the jails are used as part of the monetary system to make weapons and military equipment. And this is used for the military to go over and steal more things and more land, so that the sick, running out of control, exponentially faster and faster train of destruction called the money is sick. Why don't you people? Oh, sorry.